Hey y'all, we're over here at the corn where the sweet corn's planted, and we're gonna pick some corn to have with our supper tonight. This is actually gonna be the first picking we've had of corn, the first fresh corn we've had this year, this season, and I am looking forward to it. I also spotted some cucumbers as I walked by, and that had me thinking I really want, well, what's become my go-to snack lately, something I didn't even know that I liked, but goodness gracious, I sure do. It's delicious, it's simple, but it is so good. And so we're gonna pick us some corn. You'll get to see this corn go from garden to plate because we're having it with our supper tonight. And then we'll pick some corn, we'll grab some cucumbers, we'll shuck the corn, and then I'll go in and show you that snack that I've been enjoying. See, I know I saw a cucumber here we needed to pick too. We'll let that one wait another day. Y'all, look how gorgeous. I already broke the end off. There was a worm in the end, and no big deal. We just break that off and the chickens can enjoy that. But look how beautiful this corn is. Can you tell I've been excited waiting on this? It's one of my favorite things about summertime. Gonna make me a pile right here beside me. That is pretty. I was talking to David, my stepdad. We were talking about this corn and how a lot of people around here, their corn didn't do so well because they planted it when they normally would, and then we had so much hot, dry weather. And he planted this a little bit later than usual, and then we ended up getting some rain, so that helped us out. Doing things like this, being in the garden, I've said it before that, now let me get rid of this worm. I've said it before that the best medicine for the garden is a gardener, and the best medicine for the gardener is garden. Being in the garden and doing things like shucking corn, it's just good for your soul. I'm going to take some of them ends that I broke off that had worms or worm damage, take those out to the chickens. They'll be excited about that. And I'm excited about what's for dinner. We're going to do some shrimp with rice and some corn. This is the first time I have ever seen this. I mean, I've heard people talk about it. It's the first time I've ever seen it. And it's only, looks like it's just on one spot here. I missed it when I threw this down a while ago because this cob was a little damaged and I'd broke it in half. And I threw the one half on the ground. I picked it up to see what I was taking to the chickens. Looks like there's the start of it in some other spots. That's corn smut, right? It's the first time, I think it's the first time I've ever seen that. Or maybe it's just because I've heard people talking about it more lately, or seen people talking about it more lately. I've been trying to gather eggs a couple of times a day right now, just because we've got one that's wanting to eat the eggs and trying to break her from it. Fun fact, she's one of our OGs, our originals. I don't know why she's decided to do this all of a sudden. So trying to break her from that. We got some fake eggs in there and giving them extra calcium and just, you know, doing all the things. So I've been gathering eggs a couple times a day. Aren't they gorgeous? I know I always say it, but I'm just always impressed. There's not any dip on there yet. Hang on, I'll fix our dip, okay? He said dip it. I handed Fletcher a cucumber. He said dip it, dip it. Like, I don't have the dip on here yet. So this is my snack I was telling you about that I've just been loving. Y'all, I didn't know I liked cottage cheese, but I do. So take some cottage cheese. Hang on, I'm getting the dip ready, baby. And put a little salt. And we've been using this Backwoods Market Sweet Heat. Got this from a gentleman at the farmer's market. You could use something similar. I believe you can also reach them on their Facebook page about ordering. It is so good. Dip it again. You're welcome. Trying to get y'all where you won't fall over. That corn smut that I was showing you, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, but I've seen it popping up like in Facebook groups and things, homestead groups or gardening groups. Some people asking what it was, people talking about it, and talking about how it's actually a delicacy in some areas. Again, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe another term for it or thing that it's called is a Mexican truffle. It tastes a lot like a truffle. I've never had it, and like I said, I don't know that I've ever seen it. It's a fungus, but again, it's a delicacy in some places. Some farmers actually try to make that happen, but I've never had it. Don't recall ever seeing it, but it may just be that it's because I've seen other people talking about it, so I was like drawn to notice it. Anyway, Is this turning into a back porch chat? Because here we are, sitting on the back porch chatting, aren't we? Come sit on the back porch with me for a little while. I actually did have something else that I wanted to sit here and talk to you about. And being out in the garden, it kind of gets your mind going. It's a beautiful place to think, a beautiful place to pray. And as I was out there picking some cucumbers, picking that corn, shucking the corn, I was just thinking and had a thought that I wanted to share with you. And that is, I just want to encourage you today to not worry, to not fret, and to not fear, but to find peace in knowing that God is in control. It would be so easy to look around at this world and be fearful, be worried. And I'm not telling you not to be informed, but we're not called to live in fear. Do you see that? I don't think you can see it. Distracted by the bee. But what I was saying is, we're not called to live in fear. It's really beautiful to think about the fact that we do not have to have it all figured out. And I'm not trying to make this anything political. If it comes across that way, I know that that's the next few months, that's what a lot of people are going to see. And there are channels out there that talk political and really drive those kind of topics home. And that's just not what this channel is. It's not what this channel was built on. It doesn't mean that I don't have my own opinions. It doesn't mean that I ignore those kinds of things. It's just not something that we talk about here on this channel. I want you to know what you can expect when you come here. But maybe that is something that's driving you to fear or to worry. Maybe it's a financial situation. Maybe it's, and the wind's blowing you. It'd blow in the wind chime. Maybe it's some health issue or sickness. Maybe it's a relationship. Maybe it's just looking around at this world. Don't be overcome by fear, and don't be overcome by worry. Let this be your reminder today to find peace in knowing that we don't have to have it all figured out. Live your life and enjoy it, and know that God is in control. Find peace in that today. And that was the thought that I wanted to sit down and share with you. It's kind of what was going on in my mind as I was out in the garden, and then, like I said, shucking the corn. I was just thinking about finding peace and knowing that God is in control. I think that's going to be all for this video. I will be sure to include a clip of our dinner. I just wanted to let you be out in the garden with me today, shuck some corn, just have a peaceful afternoon together. Speaking of peaceful, I hear a baby on the other side of the door that's decided to cry. Sure is peaceful out here on this porch. I need to go in and check on that baby though. I love you. I appreciate you, and I mean it with all of my heart. I'll see you in the next one. Bye, y'all.